Hello everyone, this is Matt the Cyborgraptor, and today we're talking about Transformers Devastation. You see, the Bumblebee movie comes out soon and I am excited! With its more 80s look and G1 feel. And to get into the mood, I decided to play some more Transformers Devastation with its same 80s G1 feel. And I forgot just how many weapons there are in the game. The more I looked, I noticed that it seems that all 50 plus unique weapons are based off some kind of previously established weapon based off from all corners of the Transformers franchise. So I did some digging, and I was able to find where all the original designs of these weapons came from, and I'm going to go through all of them. So let's do this. Let's start with the weapons based off our main cast of heroes. The main cast consists of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Grimlock, and each come with their own set of iconic weaponry. If you start off with Optimus Prime, you get his trusty Energon Axe and his Ion Blaster, both based off his same weapons of choice in the G1 cartoon. For Bumblebee, you get a pair of his own blasters, though these blasters are based off his Masterpiece toy actually, since Bumblebee in the cartoon rarely held a blaster to give him that more friendly approach, though this blaster would become more associated with him down the line of the franchise. Speaking of Masterpiece-based weapons, Sideswipe's main weapon of choice, his own pair of specific swords, are based off his G2 version of the Masterpiece toy. This G2 version of the character also gives us another weapon in the game called the the GZS-3 and the MA685 blasters. The game also features Sideswipe's flare gun, a weapon he has always been packaged with in the G1 toy. Wheeljack comes with 2 wrenches, a weapon based off his Generations toy from the 2010 toy line. But unfortunately, that's it for him. Sorry, Jackie. Grimlock can get his Galaxial Rocket Launcher, a weapon based off one of his G1 toy accessories. Another weapon Grimlock can use is his iconic sword. Now, I almost didn't feel like I needed to add this one, but Grimlock, as well as Bumblebee, can use their hands, or I guess gloves, as weapons too. When defeating the Decepticon roster throughout the game, you can also acquire a great deal of their weapons too. You can get Megatron's classic fusion cannon, Starscream's null rays. Defeating Shockwave gives you, well, Shockwave, in his blaster mode. Which makes sense because he did held the same weapon in the show as well. Minosaur can give you his G1 toy's Ionizer sword and his Cyclone gun. When fighting the Constructicons, Bone Crusher drops his drill missile from his G1 toy, and Devastator himself gives you the Solar Beam Rifle, a weapon that comes from his G1 toy as well. Transformers Devastation also pulls weapons from other fan-favorite Transformers series, most noticeably Transformers Prime. The game offers you the legendary Star Saber, and its opposite, the Dark Star Saber, the Forge of Solus Prime, and Bulkhead's Wrecking Ball melee weapon. Also, the Energon Knuckle weapons bear strong resemblance to one of Megatron Voyager's toy's accessories. Side note, I like to use the Shock version of the Knuckles as stingers for Bumblebee. The basic Battle Hammer, which is designed to be a weaker version of the Forge of Solus Prime, looks a lot like the hammer Transformers Prime Voyager Ultra Magnus has. Speaking of Ultra Magnus hammers, the Steel Hammer looks similar to Ultra Magnus's Magnus Hammer in Transformers Animated. And while we're on the topic of Ultra Magnus, the Piercing Rifle is based on Ultra Magnus's G1 blaster. That's 3 weapons from 3 different Ultra Magnuses. Or is it Ultra Magni? The Transformers film franchise also gets a little bit of love, with Optimus Prime's Battle Blade based off his iconic first trilogy weapon of choice, and Megatron's Fusion Cannon based off its Dark of the Moon interpretation. Also, the Energon Hammer seems to be a reference to the toy version of Grimlock's mace in Age of Extinction. And don't worry for you Beast Wars fans, they also added Optimus Primal's signature swords as well. Though the Energon Axe is a more basic version of the original G1 axe, there are some incarnations of Optimus Prime that do wield this kind of axe. Now obviously, being a Generation 1 game, there's going to be a lot of references to weapons in Generation 1 itself. The small blasters are the little blasters Soundwave's cassettes Rumble and Frenzy have. The basic Spread Shot is a weapon that seems to be associated with Hound, but only through art though, since his toy blaster doesn't really look much like it. The Adhesive Gel Gun belongs to Sludge, the Steel Sword belongs to Springer, and the basic missile comes from G1 Ironhide's weapon, stored in the center of his van mode. The Heavy Sniper is also based off Blaster's G1 rifle toy. The Battle Cutters originate from Hot Rod's use of them in The Transformers, the movie, and the Photon Eliminator is also a weapon the G1 Rodimus Prime toy has. Now, the Autobot character Jazz actually has a couple weapons references under his belt. The basic blaster is based off his G1 blaster. The loudspeakers come from his 2010 Reveal the Shield Special Ops Jazz figure, and this may or may not be a reference, but there's a grappling hook weapon in the game that may be a reference to Jazz since he's the only character in G1 really associated with one, something later incarnations would utilize as well. And, well, obviously, the steel gloves are just normal Transformers hands. The Photon Disruptor, which is shown in the game to belong to Red Alert, actually belongs to G1 Getaway. And if you think that's a bit obscure, the Magnus Shot belongs to Transformers Zone character Dia Atlas. And that's it. That's all the weapons in Transformers Devastation. Is what I would say. But unfortunately, this is not a finished list. That's right everyone, I'm sorry I clickbaited you, but this is where I need your help. These 5 weapons in the game are still a mystery to me. I looked all over G1 and unless I missed something, I just can't seem to find them. That's why I'm calling all Transformers fans to arms to help me find these missing gems. I know if we can work together, we can find them. If you have any ideas, help a brother out and list them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe for more Transformers content.